Hi my dear children, welcome back. So you have all did your first 3 lessons self-assessment, right? Yes, I hope you all have got a great marks and you are doing great with your syllabus, isn't it? Yes. So today we are going to see your next chapter. So your next chapter is about soil, right? So before we get into the topic, I am going to tell you a brief introduction about this lesson. So Rahu is a gardener and he always plants new plants in his garden and he always take care of the plants. So now tell me, where do the plants grow? Yes, of course, the plants need soil to grow, right? So without the soil, the plants cannot able to grow. Even though the plants need air, water and sunlight, they are fixed themselves into the soil. So today we are going to see about soil. So first, what is soil? So soil is the topmost layer of the earth's surface. So we have a earth, right? So this is our earth, right? So in this earth, the topmost layer of our ground, okay, the topmost layer of the earth's surface is known as soil. So this soil help in plant growth. So most of the plants grow in the soil. Next, these plants, they are fixed their roots into the soil and these roots, they go deeper into the ground, into the soil. So the plants of the roots of these plants go deeper into the soil in search of minerals and nutrients from the soil and from even the water. So if you plant a small plant, so the plant, what happens? The plant will have the roots. So thereby the roots will go in search of water and minerals so that the plants fixed into the soil very strongly. So next, not only plants need soil, even there are some organisms that is they depend on soil. So for example, microorganisms. So if you see microorganisms also live in soil and some soil also helpful as a home to many animals. So let's just revise what we saw now. So soil is the topmost layer. So soil is the topmost layer of the earth in which plants grow. So plants need soil to grow. They also need air, water and sunlight. So the plants need air, water and sunlight even though they are fixed, remain to the soil with the help of their roots. So the roots of these plants go deeper into the soil to get what? Water and minerals, right? So the next, you can see the tree, there is a large number of roots so that it fixed the tree, the plant into the soil, and we can see some more animals like insects and fungi, they also depend the soil. So we can see some small animals live in soil, and let's see about formation of soil. So how this soil is formed? So soil is formed by the breaking of big rocks. So when this rocks, big rocks is broken down into smaller particles, so thus the soil is formed. So maybe how these rocks are broken down into smaller particles? Yes, so the soil is formed by the breaking of larger rocks. How it is broken? With the help of heat, wind and rain. So due to high temperature of heat or due to heavy rain or due to wind, heavy wind, so the rocks are broken down into smaller particles due to high temperature and pressure. Okay. So, you can see because of the rain, because of the air, so you can see the rocks are broken down into smaller particles. So, after that by what happens, the rocks are becoming like a soil and small plants can grow in the soil. So, this big rocks after a few months or after a few years, because of the high pressure and temperature, it is broken down into smaller pieces, and this again this rocks, because of the high temperature and pressure, it is broken down into very finer particles. So, you can see because of the flowing water, strong winds, soil particles are formed. So, let us see, just revise formation of soil, how the soil is formed. So, soil is formed by the breaking of big rocks. So, the big rocks are broken down to form soil. So, big rocks broken into smaller pieces because of the heat of the sun, wind, water and cold weather. So, pieces of rocks continue breaking down for many years till they become tiny particles. So, when these big rocks are broken down, till they broken down into smaller particles, they are keep on breaking. So, thus tiny particles of the soil mix with the dead plants and animals. So, once the soil is formed by breaking of rocks, so this soil is mixed with the dead plants and animals and it is formed as a soil. So, gradually they result in the formation of soil. So, it takes thousands of years for rocks to become soil. So, how many years it will take from a rock to become soil? 1000 years. So, 1000 years, it will take 1000 years for a rock to become soil. So, formation of soil is a continuous process. It is a continuous process. Sometimes it may be a reversible process also. So, this soil sometimes it can form into rocks and the rocks can be formed into soil. So, it is a continuous process. It keeps on continuing for a longer period. So, you can see the big rocks. So, when the earth is formed, it was full of rocks, but now we can see in many places it is full of soil. So, it is full of rocks as well as soil. So, some part of the rocks has been broken down into soil. So, you can see how the soil is formed due to the weather. So, due to the change in the weather, the rocks in the mountains has broken down into soil, and due to wind, sometimes the wind blows, the rocks will break into smaller particles, and due to water. So, sometimes due to water, lakes, rivers and ponds, so it will erode the soil, it will erode the rocks near to the water, and due to high temperature, because of the sun high heat, the rocks are broken down into soil. So, now let us see the types of soil. So, there are different types of soil, but according to the texture it is classified into 3 types. So, what are they? So, they are clayey soil, loamy soil and sandy soil. Clayey soil, C-L-A-Y-E-Y. So, first one is clayey soil, loamy soil, L-O-A-M-Y. So, loamy soil and sandy soil, S-A-N-D-Y. So, there are 3 types of soil. What are they? Clayey soil, loamy soil and sandy soil. So, soil differ in color and they differ in touch. Touch means texture. So, it can be red, brown, black or yellow in color. So, there are 3 types of soil. So you can see in many places the soil differs. So in river the soil will be different, and in mountains the soil will be different, and in plains and deserts you can see the texture, the touch of the soil varies. The soil in all the places will not be similar. So it can be in colors also. So the soil may be in different colors. So red soil, and then black soil, and then yellow soil. So there are types of soil according to the color also. So first we will see about clayey soil. So what is this clayey soil? This clayey soil is made up of clay particles. Kaliman they will say, right? So this clay means kaliman. So this type of soil is called clayey soil. So it holds. If you see, if you take the soil and see, you can see there are so much of gaps between the particles. So it means that it holds plenty of water. The clayey soil holds plenty. If you pour this water into the clayey soil, it holds much amount of water. So that is why it is very soft and smooth. So if you touch and see the clayey soil, it is very soft, it will be very smooth to touch, right. So that is why they are clayey soil. It is made up of clay particles, and it holds a lot of water. As it holds a lot of water, it is used to make clay pots. So you can see they are making the clay pots and toys. So we can make toys and pots using the clayey soil. So some plants only will grow in clayey soil because it holds more amount of water. So we cannot say all the plants will grow in clayey soil. Only some plants only will grow in clayey soil. So example, paddy, jute and grass. So these plants only grow in clayey soil because it holds plenty of water, and thereby the roots will get more amount of water. So this clayey soil used as bricks, they used to construct the house and all, right, single they will say. So using the clayey soil only they make bricks, pots and roof tiles, clay toys, statues. So all this are used to make from the clayey soil. So next we will see about loamy soil. So what is loamy soil? So loamy soil consists of clay particles as well as sand particles. It is a mixture of clay and sand particles. So in this loamy soil, so you can see it has enough amount of air and water. So it holds more amount of air and water, and this loamy soil is good for the plants. So only few plants will grow in clay soil, but plant growth is not good for clayey soil, but loamy soil is good for plant growth. So loamy soil, if you see, it has a limited amount of space between the particles, so thereby it holds air as well as water also. So that is why it is good for the plants for growth. So you can see the loamy soil is good for the healthy plant growth. So we can grow many plants in the loamy soil because it holds a limited amount of water and also it holds air also. So that is why it is good for the plant growth. So it is good for the plant growth because the roots get much amount of air. So that is why it is good for the plants. So this loamy soil along with clay and sand particles, they mix along with the dead particles of animals and plants. So and form a manure. Manure is nothing but a mixture of dead animals and plants and animals waste. So that is called manure. So when this loamy soil mixes with the manure, it is even more good for the plants. So these plants get more amount of nutrients from the manures. After this video, below the description, in the description link you have find out the Google Drive link. In that you can find out the lesson, subject material, question bank and self-assessment. So take that, download it, read it and prepare well for your future exams. Okay, thank you and have a good day.